Yo, Ace is in the house. Yo, Ace is in the house. Pleasure. That's a good one. Hi, everybody. I tell you what, of the things I'm most proud of accomplishing in the world, I guess my daughter first, TV show, and then playlist of rap songs from 80s and 90s movies. Right? That's what you guys were listening to. I think it's pretty much what I'll be known for when I'm dead, right? So, there you go. All right, good night. Just kidding. Okay, so how's everybody doing? If you don't know, now you know, buddies. I am Timmy Williams. I'm from the I'm from the skit collective called Whitest Guys Ever. And yeah, I have really bad ADHD, which is why it's hard to watch chat sometimes. Anyways, I'm part of the Whitest Kids in town. We do skits, and this is our Twitch channel. We're using it to fund Mars. Mars is like done and being submitted to festivals and stuff. And we'll have some news about some things this year, I think. So we'll see what happens. But I feel good about it. I think we'll be able to get some stuff done. So we'll see what happens. But anyways, thank you for everybody saying they like my mustache. This is not intended to be part of it. I just need to shave better. But, I carved it out of my face a few months ago to do stand-up, and it stuck. And I'm doing more stand-up. So, here you go. This is ginger ale with some whiskey, and I froze it for a while. Who just said I look like Lee Van Cleef? Squirrel? All right. Squirrel, I don't know you. I don't know how old you are. I don't know what you look like or anything, but will you marry me? Just kidding. That could end up get me in some trouble. But man, talk about starting off a movie thing, show, talking thing. One of my favorite guys. I mean, Lee Van Cleef, and that's one of the things that Sam Brown brought into my life. Because once Sam showed me, I think I probably saw Good, the Bad, and the Ugly first, but I know I saw For a Few Dollars More shortly after that. And, man, Lee Van Cleef, dude, especially A Few Dollars More, it's still a man with no name movie, but it's kind of his characters. It's Lee Van Cleef's character story. I have a canker sore on my tongue, so hold on, I gotta put numbing stuff on it. I didn't think it'd be this bad. Okay. And by the way, canker sores are ulcers and not herpes, so fire your joke writer because they haven't read a book since the 80s. Anyways, Lee Van Cleef rules. No, I've not seen Godzilla -1. I've not seen very many new movies. There's another new movie someone just asked me about that I have seen. I'll be talking more about that one specifically in a little bit. Love the Rush poster. Yeah, my friend Steve gave it to me. Oh, yeah. What I love about the Rush poster, this one in particular, it's how many twos of things there are that doesn't really need to be. You got Alex Lifeson with a double neck guitar, Getty with a double neck bass, and you got Neil Peart with double bass on the drums. So I like that. But no, I can't believe that Godzilla -0 came to my town's movie theater, but it did, and I missed it. I slept in, I missed it. But oh shit! I just hurt my knuckle on a thing. Okay. Anyways, but no, this is Timmy Talks About Movies, because every other time I've streamed, I just end up talking about movies. So this is chapter 2 of an ongoing experiment to see if this is entertaining. Well, last time I did it about a month ago, people said they liked it. They were probably lying, but we'll see how it goes, you know? Haven't had whiskey in a while. Yay or nay for Rebel Moon? I haven't seen it. I don't watch a lot of streaming movies. Here's the thing. And one reason I became a guy that wants to talk about movies, even though the last thing the world needs is another white guy talking about movies for an hour or two, but whatever. I collect physical media, and it's kind of becoming... It's definitely already a cool hobby, I think, and it's definitely kind of becoming more mainstream, or starting to anyways, and which is good, because we need to own the movies we want to watch instead of relying on billionaires to choose our movies for us. Well, it's like, well, if you have a bunch of different streaming services, then you can watch whatever you want. Sure, and then it's just like having cable 20 years ago, so what the fuck? You know, so anyways, that was part of it. And plus, you know, and a lot of people have heard me say this a million times, but a lot of the, what you call boutique Blu-ray companies, small companies, do limited releases of stuff. And they do weird films, they do genre films, they do more popular things, they do all sorts of stuff. And one of them that I bought a lot of stuff from recently is Vinegar Syndrome, and they had some good sales. So I bought a bunch of stuff recently, and they've even done stuff where they just like find a film canister, realize it's got a crazy ass ninja movie on it, and just fucking go from there. They didn't, for New York Ninja, they didn't even have a script or sound. They just had these images, and so they put it together and got some people into voiceover, and it was good. Will Zucchini Boys ever come back? I don't know, probably not, but we'll see. But anyway, so that's kind of why how I've gotten into movies a lot. I have 400 some individual, you know, titles, but a lot of those are box sets and stuff. So I think I have 500 some odd movies. And the thing is the last time I did this show, I also said that number, and it was much lower, which means I bought a lot of shit over the holidays, which I did. Lots of sales, whatever. It's all fun. Life's a whole, dig it, right? What do you say? Sure. 574 individual movies. That does not count the film Slipstream, which Sam sent me for my birthday last year, but it was some weird bootleg DVD that he sent me, and it doesn't work. So I finally got around to trying to watch it this summer. I was like, dude, Sam, he's like, oh shit. Hey, Timmy, am I just missing all the streams, or is self-suck no longer a thing? You know, it is still a thing. It's just been really touch and go lately. You know, we'll see what happens. It's just, you know, in some cases, I will say that the absence is good, because, you know, maybe, you know, hopefully that some stuff is happening. Is Whitest Kid still a thing? I mean, like, yeah, you know, sure, yes. And, yeah, we'll stream again. We just got to get around to it. But, you know, there's other things we're trying to make happen, and we'll make them happen, you know? So, we funded Mars. It doesn't mean we're going to abandon Twitch, but it does mean we got to try and get it out, you know? And that can involve a lot of stuff sometimes. So, you know, just hold tight. Will Mars have physical copies? I don't know. Will you? That, you know, that's the thing, is we're at festival level. When people ask me questions like that, I know that not everybody knows how that stuff works, and that's fine. But it reminds me of when I'm here in Watertown, South Dakota, where I live and I'm from, and talk to someone at a bar. Here's why I don't go to bars. You know, mention that, you know, they figure out, hey, when you did them skits on TV, people don't talk like that here. Some of them do. When you did the skits on TV, you guys just kind of made them up on the spot. Yeah, we made them up, and they just happened to have a submarine there when we started talking about submarines. Thank God. Anyways, well, we try not to model any of our lives, any part of our lives after Louis C.K., but we don't know yet. Like, stop asking me what the model's going to be. I have no idea. Like, we'll get there, but shut up. I mean, not shut up, but you know what I mean? Like, obviously you guys help fund it and we appreciate that and da-da-da. But however, I can't just, I don't know stuff, you know? We're working on it. So we're trying to get it to festivals and stuff, you know? So, you know, what's it like living in a town where everyone knows you? Not everybody knows me, but, you know, which is fine too. But yeah, so I like movies a lot and I talk about them a lot. But yeah, and I'm not trying to be mean, but I mean, every time we show up, it's at least no one's just saying Mars question mark, because that's the thing I hate most in the world right now. But the thing is, it's like, it's just hard right now because we're submitting to festivals and you're not allowed to like talk about them if you get in one. I don't even know like where we're at with all that stuff. You know what I mean? So, you know, I would assume we'll have news later this year, you know, so we'll see what happens. Killer CBH, I don't know who you are. It seems like you might know who, like I might know you personally, but I'm ready to time you out. But anyways, so, yeah, well, so the idea here is that exactly what I said. We're going to talk about movies, but it's not going to talk, I don't want to talk about the Mars movie. I've seen it. It's great. And that's all I care. I just wanted to fund the movie to the point where I got to see it. Yeah, so now I'm done. Nate says, Timmy, do you like me or Sam better? Oh, man. Nate, which one of you, are you guys both watching or just you? Can I list my favorite genres in order? I name questions would be number one. You know what? What are your thoughts on the planet Jupiter? It was always my favorite as a kid. I know you're probably asking that as a joke since everybody's asking too many questions right now. And it's fun. But I loved, I think I liked Saturn the most as a kid. But Jupiter's cool. It's big, you know? Charging Magic Missile says, wait, is Nate the bearded guy with glasses or the other bearded guy with glasses? Yeah. Timmy, can you explain film festivals? Like, do you pay to enter? I mean, I think there's submission fees sometimes. Yes. I mean, yes, there are submission fees. And, well, if they pick you, they show your movie. And the idea of getting into the film festival, the reason why I wanted to take Mars to it is because then people who can distribute it and buy it and do things with it will be there, you know, so. All right. So this is not a super structured show, but I do have some things here. Ideas to talk about things. Well, first of all, let's go back here a second in the chat, though. Nate says, I was sincerely asking about genres. Do you like martial arts movies more than horror or more than sci-fi? God damn, you know, I was just looking at my movies. I've collected enough recently where it's like, do I need to call, you know, get rid of any? And there's a few cases where I had a very bare bones, normal $5 at Walmart bin kind of copy of a movie, and I'm now replacing it with a nice copy. I'm going to show one. I'm going to talk about one in a little bit here, but you know, so some of those will be getting rid of, but otherwise, no, I couldn't really pick any. And then there's some genres that I feel like I'm starting to not pay as much attention to. So I would say, I don't know, probably in the last year or two, martial arts is my top, but martial arts and horror are pretty much neck and neck, you know? And I do love, you know, it's kind of like my brain splits into subgenres immediately. Like, I like post-apocalyptic stuff quite a bit. You know, I like, when it comes to horror movies, I like, I don't know. I kind of like psychopaths, you know? Like, I don't know. It's like, I kind of just hop around. My mind, I have really bad ADHD, and there's so many different focal things that I don't have because of that. And, like, I don't know. Like, I can tell you movies that I like and show you movies that I like, and I can say I tend to like movies that have this in it, but, you know. What I think of Barbarian? I like the movie. Director, I don't know. He's okay. Anyways, somebody asked a little here where he's back here. Sweeney, 1987 said, what movie should I watch tonight? And this is sort of like something I wanted to do, which we'll still do that other thing later. But so Swenny, tell us what's... Okay, let's help Swenny pick a movie to watch. Swenny, what was the last movie you saw that like really knocked you on your ass that you really enjoyed? You know? I've not seen Moonfall yet. I haven't seen a lot of new movies, you know? Charging Magic Missile says, I'm a bit partial to stoner comedies. Reminds me of getting stoned. Yeah, that works. So Squirrel723 is going to go watch for a few dollars more. What's the music box song from that movie? We could start singing that. Do 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 do. Okay, Swanny87 says the menu yesterday. You liked the menu? Okay, so Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 would be a good segue into that. It's a good like black comedy with murder elements. If you've never seen the original Clue, you could watch that. See, this is why I have a Letterboxd account. I put it on the bottom of my thing just in case you guys want to see it, but I really started it just so I could keep track of what movies I watch, because my memory has gotten pretty bad about random stuff like that. So, let's see. Burp. See, I watched this Vinegar Syndrome company had a sale, so I got stuff from them. I watched a lot of their stuff, and their stuff is all kind of weird and niche, so it's like, I don't know. You know what I just saw for the first time and enjoyed was The People Under the Stairs. That was a good one. Oh, the Mean Girls remake comes out tomorrow? Interesting. Now, is that remaking a movie, or is it like they turned the musical into something? I can't really remember. Colby says, I'm going to go home and have sex with my wife. Guarantee that's not true. Okay, so one of the things I wanted to talk about was, and this is not a movie, so it's kind of weird to start this way, but so there's a few different circles here to get into. So this time of year, it's cold and it's depressing, and I kind of hate it, and everybody seems to generally hate it, at least on the Northern Hemisphere. And so comfort watching is something that interests me. And I asked this on my Twitter or maybe on Instagram and wherever else I promoted this tonight. I said, what's a comfort movie? You know? And I have a few, but one of the things that's a comfort watch for me is True Detective Season 1. I watch it almost every year, right around this time. And the new True Detective, Dark Country, I think it's coming out. And I'm very excited about it. I liked True Detective Season 2 okay. I liked Season 3 okay. Season 4, I'm most excited for, because they got that pretentious shithead. I don't think he's really involved anymore. You know, who had like one good idea, so they made the first season, and the rest of it was just like about how great he is. But the director of that is somebody who's very cool, and you know it's like I think it takes place in Alaska, right? Like it looks cool. So I wanted to talk about what do people watch like as a comfort thing, especially during a time of year when it's like, you know, easy to get depressed, right? Swanee, where in Minnesota do you live? You know, I'm in South Dakota, but I'm eastern South Dakota. I'm only like a half an hour from the border. David Milch was on Season 3, and he has Alzheimer's. David Milch, yeah, he was on it for a little bit, but he ended up not doing too much with it because of that. Rochester area. Oh, weird. Okay. So I know people that are there right now. So I was gonna. So yeah, Pixar movies. That's always good. Mandy's a comfort movie. Okay. Mr. Robot. I've never watched that. I can't stand that guy's face. Shawshank. Yeah, that's one I used to watch all the time. As like a comfort thing. What are mine? I wrote down True Detective Season 1. Okay, that's not a movie. Around this time of year, I always watch the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Mission Impossibles, I'll just watch those sometimes all in a row. And, it's my dad's birthday today, and he took me to Mission Impossible, the first one, on Memorial Day, 1994, whatever. So, it's kind of like, oh, yeah, it reminds me of doing stuff with Dad. We watched that. What else did he take me to? He took me to that. He took me to Dick Tracy, the first Addams Family, good shit. Kill Bill Volume 2. I mean, sometimes I watch Volume 1 first. You don't really have to. But Kill Bill Volume 2, I've always found to be a comfort thing. When she's punching her way out of the coffin, I get teary-eyed every time. It's kind of a combination of music. It's really great. Ennio Morricone music from the movie The Mercenary. But it's very good, and it just gets me. Blade Runner over and over, chills me right out. That's a good one. I haven't seen that in a while. Scuba Steve says, oh yeah, Lord of the Rings extended editions around Thanksgiving is usually my go-to. I only own the extended editions, and I don't really remember the normal versions. And it's like, well, the extended versions are pretty fucking good. Batman Returns, there's a good one. I just got a steel book of that. Pump up the volume. My volume? You got it. Yeah, it is a little on the quiet side. How's this? How's this? How's this? Right? Okay. Killer CBH, that's a good. I agree with you. They say Volume 1, meaning Kill Bill, has a better soundtrack. Volume 2 is a great Kung Fu flick. I don't know what that means, but it's a pretty good Kung Fu flick. Although, since I watch a lot of actual Kung Fu flicks, it's like, well, actually, if you're going by Kung Fu movie, Volume 1 is better. It's got more of it in it. But Volume 2 is a better movie, So, and yeah, the music and stuff, very good. But yeah, what other comfort watches? I'm trying to think. Did I say everything? Oh, 8-Diagram Pole Fighter. There's an actual classic kung fu movie, Shaw Brothers, starring Gordon Liu, who's in both Kill Bill 1 and 2. And he in Kill Bill 1, he plays like the bald gang leader guy. In Kill Bill 2, he's Pai Mei. But yeah, so I think it's good to have those warm blanket things. Polygon Line says, what is a movie you love that lots of people dismiss or hate? I don't know, a lot of them. I have to think. Do I have the Shaw Scope collection? Yeah, I got both of them. Well, not the Shout ones. Those look okay. Maybe I'll get into them eventually. The Arrow ones I have. They're pretty good. Bloodsport on repeat. Okay. I just watched the movie Lady Blood Fight the other day, which is basically it's a take on Bloodsport starring Amy Johnston, who is a martial artist, and it was made, I don't know, like 7-8 years ago, something like that. And so it's an all-lady like kumite fighting tournament. But what's cool about it is they never, I don't think even once, remark on the fact that it's all women. They just it just starts these characters who happen to be girls are all getting invited to the kumite, and then they beat the living shit out of each other. And no, not that. Not Amy Jo Johnson. Amy Johnston. It's different. There can be more than one person. It's funny, with the world of information at our fingertips, we really let ourselves get caught on one thing at a time, don't we? But but what's cool about it is, I don't know, it's just the way that they don't really they never make it feel like, hey, it's girl power, except for the name. The name's kind of dumb, Lady Bloodfight. The rest of it is fucking cool. And there's even this shower scene, and they're playing this rock and roll music, wow, and it starts out, and yeah, there's some hot girls walking around in underwear or whatever, but they're also a lot of them are actual martial artist women and stuff, so they're fucking ripped. They got tattoos, they're tying on headbands and tightening their sports bras and shit, and they're getting ready to beat the shit out of each other. You know what I mean? So it doesn't feel that leery or male gazy. It kind of feels almost like it's trying to turn that on its head, where it's well, here's a shower scene, but these people could all beat the living shit out of you, they're not looking to have sex, they're looking to kill, so it's pretty cool. Anyways, that's a good one, Lady Blood Fight. Someone is asking about Chocolate, not Chocolat. Who cares about that? Chocolate, directed by, I don't know how to pronounce Thai stuff, but Pracha Pinkyao. starring Gigi Yanin, and about... That's a girl who I don't know if they ever come out and say it, but basically it's kind of infer that she's on the spectrum or autistic or something, and copies the movie she sees and becomes an awesome fighter and takes out a bunch of criminals. It's good. I like it. Porcupine Ball says, just wanted to say I love your bus driver character in the backseat sketch. Thank you. That's one of ours that I would say is underloved. I really like that one. But did that guy I played, did that have a mustache? I think it did, right? It's not Female Fight Squad, but she also did that movie. I've heard that isn't as good, but I haven't seen it. So maybe it is. I don't know. But no, I think she did that right after. I think Lady Blood Fight was right before that. Anyways, but that's very good. Yeah, and I think action movies tend to be a good comfort watch. It's like, I think, well, it's, oh man, I'm tied up on the words tonight. Do I like comedic martial arts movies like Kung Pao or The Fist? God, every fucking time. Every time. Why do people like that movie so much? Like, who gives a shit? I'm never going to watch it. The trailer looked kind of funny. I'm not interested. Anyways. The Ip Man movies are great. Yeah. See, when people like over and over talk about how Kung Pao is amazing, like I haven't seen it. Maybe it's great, but for some reason, I'm not trying to be a dick, but my main gut reaction when people keep talking about Kung Pao is watch more movies, watch more movies, watch more movies. Especially if you think that's a great, like there's people, I've said, no one in here is saying it tonight, but in the past when I've like tweeted about a Kung Fu movie or something like that, people have said like Kung Pao's a good one. It's like, it's not though. It's not even one. It's like, I don't know if it's good or not. I haven't seen it. I don't know if I'd like it, but it's not like I don't even consider it like it's a comedy. And stop. If you think that's in any way a good Kung Fu movie, you just haven't seen any, So Kung Fu Hustle's a golden standard. I don't know. That's a lot. There's a lot of CGI in that, which is fine. I don't have anything against CGI, but in my opinion, if you're going to have if you're having a good martial arts movie, well, you have to have martial arts in it. And that means people hitting each other for real, or at least choreographed for real, And Kung Fu Hustle has really great choreography, but it's also like, that's what Stephen Chow was trying to do. I don't think he was even trying to make like a good Kung Fu movie. He was trying to make a crazy CGI epic, like weird Looney Tunes, like a live action cartoon. And he did, Kung Fu Hustle is actually good, but I wouldn't consider it it has Kung Fu in it. It's definitely closer to a Kung Fu movie than whatever that is, white guy versus cow. But, Kung Fu movies, obviously, Shaw Brothers stuff, anything by the Five Venoms or the Venom Gang, like Five Venoms, stuff like that. Those I would consider real. And there's stuff that involves wire fu that I would consider Kung Fu movies. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, you would call that a, God damn it. Not Kung Fu necessarily, but what's that term? I'll tip my tongue. Anyways, Jackie Chan stuff. Wuxia, thank you, Flange. I feel like, and it doesn't have to be, like a martial arts film doesn't have to be Asian to be good, but most of them are, because I just feel like that's where martial arts are most popular, most widely practiced. So most of the best people who are best at it are over there, But I just don't feel like when someone's just like uses Kung Fu as a springboard for something else. But no, I want to see, if you sit me down to watch a Kung Fu movie, it should be mostly fighting. In fact, I just watched one. Trailer Boys fans will probably recognize this, but I watched The Magic Crystal. I got that, and it's good. There's a lot more fighting in it than I thought. Charging Magic Missile says, can't wait for the next Krav Maga movie. There's a movie called Krav Maga, or what do you mean? But anyways, that was good. So, all right, enough yelling at people about Kung Pao, because apparently it's going to happen all the time, forever, for the rest of my life. So this is the second and last episode. I know it's the Israeli martial arts form. I'm asking you, is there a movie called Krav Maga, or what are you talking about? So in preparation for True Detective, I'm excited about it. I thought of what are some movies that could, that would be fun to watch leading up to that. Tigers Are Not Afraid is a horror movie, I believe, produced in Mexico. It's on Shudder. But the reason I bring that one up is because the lady who directed that, Issa Lopez, is the director of the new True Detective series. So obviously that would be a fun thing to watch. It's not going to be anything like that, but it would still be fun to watch. It's got like a spooky ghost story kind of deal happening in it. Also, I probably have a little bit of a crush on her, so that'd be good. Silence of the Lambs, obviously, but not just because it's a murder mystery, but a serial killer thing, but because Jodie Foster's in it. Jodie Foster's in the new show, so that's cool. Weird. Mrs. Letman's in the Tub came in right as I was talking about Silence of the Lambs. Love that. It's like you were summoned. Let's see. I also wrote down, I've never seen this, but Insomnia, because I believe that takes place in Alaska, right? And I think the new show, maybe it takes place up in the Nordic area of the world. But I thought it was in Alaska. Oh, it is Alaska. Okay, yeah. Anyways, so Insomnia, I believe, involves that. 30 Days of Night. It's a Fat Backman Explains says 30 Days of Night is a solid Alaskan horror too. I agree with almost every word of what you said. The American Insomnia set in Alaska. Okay. No, I've not seen the Happy Time Murders. I don't see a lot of newer stuff or big studio stuff hardly at all anymore. I see Marvel stuff with my kid, but then I watch a lot of weird little shit. The other thing I wrote down was the movie M, which is a very great kind of German expressionism serial killer procedural. And I don't think it has any closer ties to True Detective, but, it's like an 80, 90-year-old movie. It's great. I also wrote down that X-Files episode in the ice with the worms. I think that episode's called Ice, and I think it's in Alaska, too. So, that's a thing. And I don't know, that's all I wrote down. I was busy at work today. I could have written down more if I had more time to sit and think about it, but FT Dude says, speaking of movies, I know you're a big fan of DVD sets and stuff. What are your thoughts of big box retailers stopping physical media sales like DVDs and Blu-rays? And this called me a crackpot. I think in about 5 years they'll regret it. I think there is a movement towards wanting to have more control over our choices for stuff like that, which entails having it available physically so you can watch it and not worrying about if it's, I have a bunch of Hong Kong movies that aren't available on Blu-ray here, right? So, that's physical media. I have it. I can watch it. Okay. But it's more fun, though, to get the actual Blu-rays and stuff. So let's get into that right now. Like I said, I collect them. And there's been a lot of sales lately, a lot of stuff. So I wanted tonight to just show off, some of the ones I thought were the coolest sets. And a couple of them are big Hollywood movies. But the coolest sets, and some of them are quite peculiar. So we'll start with this. So Vinegar Syndrome is a great label I talked about. They do this fun sale thing twice a year. They do it around Memorial Day and then Black Friday, where a few months before, so they release a bunch of stuff on Black Friday, for example. So in September, about 2 months before, they say, hey, if you want, we have 2 surprise releases that we don't reveal until the day of the sale in November on Black Friday, and you can buy them both right now at a discounted rate, but you won't know what they are. And I did that, and one of them, which I haven't watched yet, but I'm very excited, is Existence. Existence, however you say that. And as described, it's a flesh-like cover, so it does kind of feel weird. So what another cool thing Vinegar Syndrome does is they sell 4Ks with Blu-rays. I don't have 4K capability yet. I'm not quite ready to care about that yet. So I don't know. But anyways, I think I might even watch this movie tonight. But yeah, very cool. And so if you don't know what this is, I think it's an independent movie. Maybe it was put up by Paramount. But anyways, David Cronenberg did it. Late 90s. Jude Law's in it. I know it's about some kind of fleshy video game business. That's all I know. But it's in my on my movie shelf. It's in the mad science category because I feel like that's what it's going to be. Oh, there's spores involved. Good. Okay, so another cool thing Vinegar Syndrome does is they sell discs from what they call partner labels. After their Black Friday sale, where they sold a lot of their own stuff, they take a month to pack that stuff and mail off the orders. So they have their partner labels are the only ones you can buy from in December, and those are on sale. One of them is Canadian International Pictures, and they do a lot of different things, but they have their hands on a number of Canadian family films from the 60s and 70s, and they put out these great copies of them with great covers. And so here's the one that my daughter and I watched around Christmas this year, The Christmas Martian. And I don't know if you can see, it's like the Martian, quote unquote, is like a guy with some kind of weird shit on his face, like a jockstrap kind of business. I don't really know what it's supposed to be. But this picture, this is candy. He fills his spaceship with candy. And I know it sounds like he's going to kidnap the kid. It's not a service. It's an online store called Vinegar Syndrome. They have actually some physical stores as well in Denver, Connecticut, somewhere else, Canada, somewhere, I forget. Anyways, but so this movie is only 70 minutes. Oh, Svengali used to play this one. Okay, good. So the same, I believe it's made by the people who made the Peanut Butter Solution, which I haven't seen, but is a much more well known. Pia Zadora is not in that. She's in Rock and Roll and Voyage of the Rock Aliens, which I also bought in that same batch. So weird that you said that. But Jack Vincent says, I have all of Whitest Kids on Plex. Cool. Some of that's bootleg, whatever. So they made the Peanut Butter Solution. They also made this one, which I haven't watched yet, but the title and the art stands alone. The Dog Who Stopped the War. And apparently it's like giant snowball fights between armies of kids. So I'm looking forward to that. So that was a weird purchase. Now, years ago, and I'm pretty sure it was during a Whitest Kids meeting, Zach showed me a movie trailer for this movie from Uganda. That's all these people, young men, some look like kids shooting guns and be like, Alex, and stuff like that. And when I messaged him to mention this to him the other day, he doesn't remember that at all. But that was okay. It was 20 years ago. So another great little label, the American Genre Film Archive, which only does weird lost shit. A lot of it shot on video. But I'm excited to watch these. The Wakaliwood Super Action. So these are movies shot. They call it Wakaliwood because they're shooting in Uganda rogue style, not fucking budgets, not a studio system, just dudes with cameras shooting their friends and stuff. So, and they're action movies, and I've heard that the action is actually pretty good in them. So really excited to check that out. And there's 2 movies on there: Who Killed Captain Alex and Bad Black. Yes, Pia Zadora is in Santa Claus Conquers the Martians. She's also in a movie called Voyage of the Rock Aliens. But, so, okay. Oh, well, we'll get to this next. So, there's a few movies that I just have what you call vanilla versions of that you buy at a Best Buy for $5 or Walmart, whatever. One of those, and in all, there's 3 or 4 of them I can think of. And in every case, I would like to get, I want to get the cooler version of it. But the number one most important one for me to replace was The Warriors, because the only available Blu-ray of The Warriors was Jackson Vincent. I've not seen that. Stop. The Warriors, the only cut you could see on Blu-ray was like the ultimate cut or director's cut or something, which is like, it had these like comic book style transitions that they added in between every scene, and it just ruined the Warriors. You know, hey, fill the garbage rating. Hello, Raiders. What's up, Cats Up rating? Thank you, everybody. Well, no, you don't have to say sorry, Dad, although I know it's horrible for anyone to ever tell someone who's being annoying to stop on the internet. How dare I? But you're mentioning it too many times, so, you know, especially since it's got, like, had a naughty in it, you know, So Dan Ballard agrees. Okay, yeah, so The Warriors obviously a classic, awesome 70s crime gang movie, kind of almost sci-fi-ish, the way they have or almost future dystopian kind of thing with all these gangs, but adding the comic book transitions in just ruined it because, okay, like what made the movie cool is it feels like a gritty, realistic New York. Then you have these gangs like that have themes, and there's like mimes, and there's baseball gang, and all this crazy shit. And so having those in a gritty, grounded New York feels really cool. But then when you're pointing out the weirdness stuff by making the movie like comic book pages, it kind of fucks the whole thing up. So finally, Arrow Video, another great label who does a lot of good stuff like that, restored it, you know, did a new 4K restoration, and they put out a very badass copy of it, The Warriors. And yes, they have the original cut without the comic book shit in it, but they also included that disc in here just because there's some people who are masochists, so, you know, whatever. But doesn't bother me. Either version is fine. Cool. Well, all right, bye. So anyways, it's awesome. It's a great, cool box. And anyways, it's got a bunch of stuff I don't care about, postcards and posters and whatever, but I already watched this. It's a great... it looks great. I mean, obviously the box looks great too. This one sits up on my shelf because it looks cool. You were being fine, Jack Vincent. I just didn't want to. I don't know. I think when people ask me a question and ask it more than once, it's like done. Those were not signed for real. No, that was just the look of the 80s New York stuff. So, you know, I recently bought a vanilla copy of a movie because I saw it for the first time and loved it. And hopefully they put out a cool version of this because I can see somebody doing a great release sometime of Josie and the Pussycats. Well, someone called me sensitive, so I timed them out so that they're right. Anyways, Josie and the Pussycats, it's fucking awesome. It's not at all what you think it is if you haven't seen it. It's and actually, you know what? It pairs well with Barbie, which I'm about to talk about too. But, man, there's too many wet blankets in chat tonight. That movie's enjoyable. Anyways, but it's a very satirical. It's got a lot of weird stuff in it, and it's really funny. And so I hope they do a cool release of it eventually. So, Barbie. Yeah, I fucking loved Barbie. You can't tell if what is a bit. Good God, I fucking hate some of these people. Anyways, gonna be a short show tonight, I think. But, so, I thought Barbie was fantastic. And Josie from Fish Tank? What? No, Josie and the Pussycats. Ash Tucker says, fantastic. I watched it a billion times when it came out. There's a family-friendly version that's all the good jokes removed, basically. What do you... Of Josie and the Pussycats, Ash Tucker? What? Isn't it only like a PG-13 movie anyways? Weird. Anyway, so Barbie came out in the States on a regular Blu-ray, and there was like a steel book that looked like one of the doll's suitcases, which is cool. But I'm not a bit delayed. It's delayed to you guys. Oh, she was talking about Barbie? Oh, weird. Oh, no, she says it's of Josie. Oh, God, I need to mentally make a list of people not to see. A lot of people have said, wow, you whitest kids, you guys pay attention to everybody in chat. That's so nice. But it's a double-edged sword. But anyway, so, there's some cool looking versions of it, but I was like, man, Barbie's really cool. I know there's cool versions of it out there, not just a regular Blu-ray. So I finally found one in Britain. I probably paid too much money for it, but I have an all-region Blu-ray player, so I can play whatever I want. But it's awesome. So it makes it look like she's in a box, right? And then it comes out, and it's this, and it's got the movie in it, and it's got a soundtrack CD, and it's pretty cool. At the same time, I bought another thing that was out of print. People talked about how Best Buy stopped selling movies. I don't live near Best Buy, so I don't care, but this was apparently a Best Buy exclusive, and I decided to get it on eBay because it's really cool. It's a steelbook of Point Break, but I don't even care about the metal thing. Who cares? But that cover is fucking awesome, right? Like, that is fucking awesome. And the movie looks great, of course. If you've never seen Point Break, the back is really cool too. So, if you've never seen Point Break, Utah, give me two. Utah, give me two. Am I going to get the one for the Point Break remake? No. Here's a thought I have about movies, especially in more modern times. Studios so badly, they don't, I think it's obvious they don't care. Most studios don't really care, for the most part, about making a good movie. They want you to always be thinking about it, though. Right? So that when you see it, maybe you talk about it, maybe you buy a thing with it on it, maybe you pay to rent it, whatever. And so, like when I bring up Point Break, which, yeah, it's a studio system movie, but it's a legit classic. It fucking rules. And someone says Point Break remake, it's like, no, let's not do that. That thing looked, I didn't see it, okay? But it looked like a soulless, heartless cash-in, no interest. And all I've ever heard about it is that I'm right. So, it's like, it's like they try to replace everything, and it drives me fucking crazy, And I don't know, there's still room out there for original ideas. Zach's movie was a good example of that, He really wanted to make this story, and he did it. And, there were points where he wasn't sure if it would work, and then it came out, and it was a success, So you can still do that. And it's just like, I miss my dad. 420 says, that's how I feel about Heavy Metal 2000. One of the first times I hung out with Trevor, just me and Trevor without the other guys around, right after I met him, we rented Heavy Metal 2000 for some reason. It was like the middle of the day, and we're watching it, and I was just like, this is a weird thing for two guys to watch together at a college store. It was just like, what's her name? Julie Strain's boobs everywhere, and it's pretty funny. So there's a website. I don't know if WKUK Plus is still functioning. I know it had problems at one point, but you can also just look on our YouTube channel, WKUK VODs, and you can find the story of how we all met there, because I'm not going to go into it right now. There's only one of me here. One of us here. One of them. Us. Anyways, what the hell was I talking about? Yeah, and, and some people enjoy the remakes and stuff, but here's what I think. If you have not seen a movie and get the idea in your head to go see the remake of the movie, stop and go see the remake first. I just think, let's do that, I try to do that, actually. If there's a movie that comes out that looks really awesome and it's a remake, the only one I haven't gotten around to yet, I've never seen Infernal Affairs, and The Departed is a remake of Infernal Affairs. I want to see that eventually, but what would I say constitutes a good remake? One that stays on the paper and they make something else. But, that's unfair. There's some fantastic movies out there that people don't even know are remakes. I mean, The Departed's a good example, but but generally it's just kind of like when I hear about remake, it's like, but you never know. Like, here's a good example. Does Mad Max Fury Road count as a remake? Before I answer that question, what in your mind makes you think it's, why do you think it could be a remake? I want to know that from you. Okay, and I have words about the thing. First of all, but yes, okay, this can all tie together back to my True Detective point. So, there was a 90-page book, you'd call it a novella, I guess. called Who Goes There? And it was made into a movie once called The Thing from Another World. That came out in the 50s. It takes place in Alaska. But let's backtrack. Okay, so the Who Goes There, the book, is about a science team in the Antarctic who finds a crashed alien vessel, and then it starts replicating them, and they don't know who's who. Okay? That's the book that came out in the 30s or 40s. That was made into a movie called The Thing from Another World in the 50s that is nothing like that. They're in the Arctic, not the Antarctic, and they find an alien crash in the ground, but he's like a vegetable monster. It's actually a great movie, but it's totally different. Okay, so then in the early 80s, John Carpenter did not remake the movie. So I don't call The Thing a remake. He readapted the book. So I really wouldn't call that a remake because he didn't remake The Thing from Another World. He's like, hey, there's another angle we can take on this. And that angle was to pretty much just adapt it almost word for word, Okay, so Dizzy Death is not too versed in the originals. I don't know. It's not... Oh, God, I hate all these words you guys are coming up with. Reimagining, fuck that. Remakes, generally, fuck that. Fury Road is just another Mad Max movie. And in fact, if you watched all the Mad Max movies, they are... now my phone thinks I'm trying to talk to it. They all are like... It's almost like they remix their remixes of the same thing over and over. It's kind of like they're all like fairy tales about this legendary man that existed kind of thing, And, okay, Arthur with Russell Brand. Yeah, that's a remake, and no one needs to watch that. Dread, I would call that more of a readaptation because I think the first one was, the Stallone one was very far afield from what Dread is, I would say, actually, one that I watched yesterday, The Running Man, which I love that movie, okay? And that's an adaptation of the Richard Bachman story, The Running Man, which is actually Stephen King. And the movie is nothing like the book at all. And when I went to... Yeah, I would call Stephen King's it a remake, sure. You mean like the Andy Muschietti one? Yeah. Anyways, because they do the same thing. But a readaptation to me is like something like with Dread where they really did it differently, or with The Thing where they really did it differently. But okay, so The Running Man. So the Schwarzenegger Running Man is not like the book at all. Okay, in the movie, this dude gets caught putting this very game show-esque thing, and they're in an isolated arena, and there's like themed fighters and stuff he has to take out. The book is like a guy enters a game where you're hunted on TV, right? Similar, but you're just in the real world, and they're just like, they go after you. And he's not like, as far as I remember, he's not some big muscle man. He's just like a guy. And, so that he's like running through apartment buildings and hiding from them and stuff. So it's a lot. It's pretty crazy. And the ending of the original Running Man, when I moved to New York in August of 2001, with dreams of being a screenwriter, I wanted to write a readaptation of The Running Man that was more like the book. And then something happened in New York a month later that said, nope, you're never going to be able to readapt to do a closer adaptation of The Running Man. Because, spoilers? I don't have the spoiler tag like Nate has on Trailer Boys, but The Running Man, the book, ends with a 9/11 done by the good guys. So we'll just put it that way. So yeah, but if someone were to, I would call a adaptation because it's so different from, because it's two different paths, But like reimagining, I think we get too caught up on that shit. Someone just said, I love that George Miller doesn't care about continuity. Amen, brother, sister, whoever. Yeah, because who fucking cares? You know what? I want to see a good movie. I don't care about the rest of it. I don't care. If your movie's good and pulls me through it, I don't give a shit at all. And so, like, what I like about Fury Road, as far as like its place in the series, is it doesn't really get into it. It just is like, my name's Max. The world sucks. Cars. That's all we need. Let's go for it. But, and like if you're saying, okay, this is a continuing story, like Star Wars, like the Star Wars series, okay, yeah, obviously you want to have continuity be good, but like, when they make that Mandalorian and Grogu movie that they just said they're going to make, I don't really care if it's like not like the show, whatever. I want to see the Mandalorian and Grogu fighting, $250 million worth of monsters. That's what I want to see, just fucking do it. I've not seen Marathon Man. I haven't seen a lot of those 70s realism spy stuff, Killer CBH. And that is a hole I'd like to fill because I love 70s movies. I think 70s were one of the best decades for arts and entertainment in general. Music, movies, books. So, yeah. I'm trying to think of some like that I have seen and really liked. God, I have the movie. I can't think of what it is. Whatever. You'd like to say respectfully balls about what? Yeah, you're one of those. I shouldn't even talk to you. Do butt stuff in your movies. No, I'm not working on movies. Yeah, 70s being the best time for film is like, okay, so you had the studios still trying to be artistic because of what happened in the 60s. The 60s, all these young mavericks made a bunch of weird shit that got successful. And so now in the 70s, you got the studios involved. Then they're trying to, then you still got the independent mavericks making stuff like Toby Hooper and his fucking goofy ass friends who made Texas Chainsaw, things like that. It was really cool. Yeah, it fell apart in the 60s, but like how they rejiggered it and what they were doing in the 70s was great, John Hawk's an horror film that definitely... No, I haven't seen that. But anyways, yeah, so, I just think... I wish we as a people would rise up and be like, we don't care about remakes. Because it's like, whenever I letterbox review the Texas Chainsaw, have you seen the remake? Yeah, it's pretty good. Who cares? They should have made something else. You know what I mean? Just fucking do something cool. I don't know. There's just very little merit to just... Like when someone said I like the Psycho remake, I'm like, okay. I mean, that one's shot for shot. So I don't know. The 80s, Dan Ballard says, I think the 80s is my favorite time in movie history. And I used to hate the 80s. However, the more I've gotten into like weird genre labels and stuff, okay, the 80s were a great time because... Like even the worst, like even the most low budget movies with like not shot in Hollywood, shot somewhere regional, what they say regional, what do they say? Anyways, regionally made movie, it's not part of the studio system, whatever. And they only had like a few $1,000 or whatever. They still were finding dudes who did incredible makeup and puppet work and all this stuff and effects work. And it's like, that was just everywhere in the 80s, and it rules. I mean, you can find a movie that's cheap and bad and maybe poorly acted and the script's not that great, but then the makeup is cool, And here's the thing. Sequels, I don't have a problem with sequels. I like horror movies, But the whole reimagining thing is like, nah. That's why it's like, there has been more of a trend when they reimagine something to actually just make it a sequel, which is, I think, cooler. Let's if you must revisit this, let's continue the story instead of just redo it. So there's times when it works. There's times when it doesn't work, like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, that more recent one. God. It's like they saw the new Halloweens, and we're like, yeah, we should just do that. Where it's like, well, hello. The reason people like Leatherface and the reason people like Michael Myers, there's two completely different things. So, anyways. But yeah, there's guys that become, well, the more you dig into like 70s and 80s genre stuff, for example, there's guys that become like heroes that probably didn't even make enough money on these movies to pay the bills, John Carl Buechler, great makeup guy. He directed Friday the 13th Part 7, but he directed a few other movies and did a lot of special effects work. But great. He was great, But who the hell, he passed away not that long ago, unfortunately. But, it's like there's so many little dudes like that, But, yeah, I don't know. So, I mean, I get the idea of wanting to remake a story, like it's like how musicals every once in a while they'll do what you call a revival and take an older story like The Music Man or Singing in the Rain and do a new version of it. Okay, fine. But I don't know. But here's the thing, is there's always exceptions to the rule, okay? Barbie, which I just got done talking about loving, should have sucked ass. And it very much does not. And I had to eat my words again recently. My daughter was, because my daughter's 12 and a half. So I don't think she is ready to admit it to me yet, but she's starting to pick dudes she likes, right? And she likes Timothy Chalamet. And so she wanted to go see Willy Wonka, or Wonka, is it called? And I had zero interest in seeing that movie. I mean, like a prequel to kick off a new reimagined blah, blah, blah of this IP that never really should have had more than one movie in the first place. No. Oh, what's that? The guy who made Paddington made it? Ding! Yeah, so that's what happened. So I went to see it, and it's fucking good, man. It's not as good as the Paddington movies, but it's good. And it's funny, and it's got some great musical pieces and a lot of good actors and comedians in there doing some really funny stuff. And yeah, it's like a great family movie. And Love to Splooge 69420 says, Wonka blows, the Johnny Depp one is so much better. Okay. Yeah, don't we all love Johnny Depp's like, if I wear a goofy hat and put powder my face, that's acting, right? He did that for like 10 movies in a row. Anyways, is Blood and Honey a reimagining or a sequel? I would say, you know what? I would call that a readaptation of the original Winnie the Pooh books. So neither, Hi, FT Dude says, I mean, high school kids could have probably made a better Wonka than Johnny Depp did. Yeah, Timothy Chalamet is much closer to that than Depp was when he played Wonka. And my sister, who's tall and gay, I don't think anyone knew she was gay at the time. That doesn't really matter. But maybe the energy helped her wearing a suit. But my sister played Willy Wonka in a musical here in high school, and she kicked ass, Because you don't need to be... You know what I mean? It's one of those roles. I mean, you look at the Timothy Chalamet one, you can totally see Wonka as some sort of genderless, pansexual chocolate being. It doesn't really matter, In fact, I don't think they ever... The two books that Roald Dahl wrote don't address Wonka's... I don't think there's any romance. I don't think there's any romance in the movie, so who knows? But yeah, anyways, Wonka was surprisingly good. So yeah, there's exceptions to the rule. And recently, I feel like there's been more exceptions to the rule, which is good. Wonka was good. Barbie was good. The Lego movie and its sequel were great. So every once in a while you get that. But then, there's still so much product. And as someone who loves Marvel stuff, yeah, I'm pretty much sick of that stuff, but, I think Echo looks cool, so I'll watch that. My daughter wants to watch it with me, so I'll wait till she's back at my house this weekend, but yeah, but it's, I just feel like I wish we could get back to original content, and I said content just because it's driven into my head, just like how it's driven into some of you guys' heads to talk about remakes, content's a shitty word, in this context. Obviously, you have to have the right context. Contain the context of contents. Anyways, I I just wish we got back to original ideas a little bit more. And I think that's one reason why I'm attracted to horror movies still, is because they still get to make new things, you know? You look at the big horror movies of 2022, you had Zach's movie, Barbarian. You had Smile, which was an original script, you know? Terrifier 2, which was a sequel, but like very independently made, you know? So, yeah. And we need to bring cocaine back. You know, maybe you're not wrong. But, you know, I just miss that. I feel like even in the 90s, like you still had, you know, the 90s had this interesting thing that we don't really get anymore, which is like R-rated, like mid-budget, like kind of thriller and like murder mystery kind of movies. You know, Ashley Judd was in like most of them, but and Morgan Freeman was in a bunch of them. Harrison Ford made several kind of films like that, you know. So it's it's very, someone said it's corporate now, and yeah, you know, I'm never into like 100. I'm never into objective statements or absolutes. Because, yes, it is so corporate now, but the passion isn't totally gone. I disagree with that. There's still good stuff that happens. But in the 90s and 80s and 70s, you could still have this the undercurrent of cool, weird stuff being made. And it's still happening, but everything's so dispersed through all these streaming services and all this stuff that it's hard to find, and it's hard for them to get attention, and the whole thing's just hard. And now I'm hard. That's weird. But I think what's weird now too is like now, you know, there's only like 2 or 3 people left who can sell a movie based on their name. Like Scorsese, you know, Spielberg, I suppose, but actor-wise, like Tom Cruise and I don't know. You know, there's got to be somebody else, but now it's like what are the big names that draw people to a film? The names of the fucking companies. Oh, Marvel movie. I'll go see it. I don't care what it is. Oh, Disney, Pixar. You know, it's like, that fucking sucks, you know. But, yeah, so, I don't know. It's just, it can be disheartening, but also, you know, in some ways, there's lots of people out there who will help you get your stuff made, so I don't know. Yeah, I was always a slut for Star Wars too, Grabsack Turnikoff says. But, you know, I think at this point, Star Wars is being managed better than Marvel, where I don't feel Star Wars is watered down as much. And I think they still have some interesting things left to do if they would just stop letting fans use the internet. Then I think it'd be fine. I really get sick of every time they put someone who's not a white man in a movie. People get mad. It's like, why? Do you really? Like, I'm so sick of seeing white people. And like, I know everybody else is too. We're fucking everywhere. We've been in everything forever. So there's no way the people get mad about Miss Marvel being Muslim or whatever, or like they're mad that Echo is indigenous or whatever. There's no way that those people actually, truly want to keep seeing fucking white people and everything. Right? There can't be. I mean, no. If you sat down and thought about it, Jesus Christ. You know? Dizzy Death says, I'd love seeing the Rebels characters in Ahsoka. 100%. Thought that fucking ruled. But so, anyways, I'm so off track. I don't know what I was going to talk about. Other things. Oh, okay. Here's something I do whenever first of all, hold on. Do we like this? Do you guys like what's going on? Are you enjoying this? Mr. R. March says, only people I want to see are cool people. You know what? Yes, I agree with that. Because there's plenty of great white people making movies too. But it's just like, why are we letting any of that even be, matter? And But I have no problem with somebody being like, hey, we're going to remake Indiana Jones. For example, let's say that. We're going to redo Indiana Jones. Now he's going to be a black guy. Great, go for it. You know what I mean? We've seen the white guy. Okay. You know, but also if they hired like a cool guy to play him who was white too, okay, fine. You know, whatever. Just make it good, that's all. I just want authentic. What does authentic mean? I feel like that's something they say to get around having to like girls. But anyways, yeah, so there's that. Borat is Indiana Jones, yes. The Three Fates says there's an absolute shit ton of non-white people making incredible stuff and being put to the side. Yeah. You know, but so that's why when they do get put in the big stuff, that we should stop fucking yelling about it. Represent the original and not do it just to do it equals authentic. Okay. I feel like I'm giving you too much attention because I feel like you're sort of a troll, but I wonder, so okay, so if there's a popular character that's been used in a series or a comic or a book or something for a long time, and then make a movie of it and make the male character, now the main character is a girl instead of a guy, is that not authentic? That's what I want to know. Anyways, moving on. I'm okay with multi-dimensions to explain it. No, you don't need to. Fuck that, and fuck you for saying that. I mean, honestly, like, who gives a shit? Like, seriously. Why do we have to explain it with a multi-dimensional thing? Why can't it just be, hey, there's a black Spider-Man? You know what I mean? Just fucking do it. Who cares? And I do like the fact that in comics they figured it out to have two Spider-Man. Okay, that's fun. But, like, why should it fucking matter? You know, like, just fucking do it. And yes, it should be whoever's best in it, but also it's like the same thing I say with politics. I don't want to get into this too much, but it's like, I would vote for a black trans woman president. I like, no matter what their party is, as long as it wasn't like the Nazi party. You know what I mean? Like, it's very unlikely that person would be a Nazi, but just because it's like, let's get some new fucking ideas in here. Let's get a new fucking skew on it, you know? I'd rather have an explanation of why she's suddenly different. Okay, look, and I take back the fuck you. Okay, I know that was a bit of a, I don't know, whatever, me being too energetic. Okay, but why would you need an explanation of why the character is suddenly different? Anyways, I just feel like there's no good answers based on actually liking movies and actually liking stories. I think every answer about that kind of thing is like, well, because why should a girl get to be a boy character? Which is, who gives a shit? Because I don't like change. Well, too bad. Bye! Okay, so another thing I do a lot when I watch a movie is I think about, I like plot a lot. Oh, I'm going to guess that you, when you talk about movies, do you say plot holes a lot? The Three Fates, that's a great point. They say I'm at a very, very major art postgrad only art school, and I'm white, and honestly, it's not really who's best, it's who has the confidence a lot. Okay, so I asked Jack Vincent if they say plot holes a lot, because they're coming off as one of those dudes, but they said no, actually. That's funny. Anyways, so Three Fates says, I'm at a very, very major post-grad only art school, and I'm white. And honestly, it's not who's best, it's who has the confidence. A lot of people don't get through because they don't feel they'll be accepted or welcome. See, that fucking sucks. And so if we stopped listening to people that said, for example, like, well, I don't think it should be a brown person now because I don't like change. Well, if we stop listening to those people, like people who might be spamming the chat right now, we could maybe make those people feel more confident and kind of welcome in the outsiders a little bit. Because, I mean, dude, I want to see like a transgender lesbian Captain America. Fucking go for it. You know what I mean? like it doesn't matter. Like it doesn't matter. And you know, like the comic books are still there. The old, like it's really funny when people get mad that they turn a book or something into a movie and they're like, I can't believe they changed the story. It's like, I have good news for you. The story is still in the book and they didn't change that. You know? So it's like, whatever. I also had, one time on a message board or something years ago, and it was like people that I'd know in real life, like high school friends. It was like a message board. And I was like, hey, please don't post spoilers about like Spider-Man or whatever the movie was. And they're like, well, you've already read the comics. It's like, yeah, but it's like gonna be different, you know? Jack Vincent says same thought process as remakes, but I don't get sick of remakes because they might change the gender or race of someone who's playing it. I just want to see, I just want to see them either continue the story or kind of remix it enough where it's not even a remake. Now it's a new thing. Like, no pun intended, but The Thing, how they did that. Or if they were to do a new Running Man, those kind of examples. Exactly. No, we're not saying the same thing, though, because I'm not mad when they, like, recast or change something. I just think they, like people get mad about, like, Captain Marvel is a girl. Well, she was a girl for quite a bit in the comics, and they didn't know that. They just got mad there was a woman. Period. And I'm talking about remakes specifically when I say I wish they would do something new, but people get mad about that with all the movies and all that shit, And not just a remake with a gay character. Okay, but we're getting way off the rails here. But the point is, like when they do new X-Men movies, if they change stuff about one of the main characters, I'm not going to give a shit. You know what I mean? And you could do the X-Men movies without them being a remake, and they're kind of setting it up that way that it would be sort of a continuation. But which is fine. I don't mind continuations at all. So. Free Hot Dog says, have you heard of the People's Joker? It's a trans Joker story that's currently caught in copyright limbo. Yes, I've heard of that. Sounds interesting. I haven't read it. Loves to sploosh 69420 says, if people are mad they're looking at a hot female on the screen, they've got some problems, LMAO. Okay, well, I think it's weird when people call women females. It's just a weird word to call them that. But besides that, I agree with you. And I think that letting yourself be horny can fix a lot of social problems. Because it's like, I don't fucking care. Like, everybody in Barbie is hot. Every single person. The men, the women, the trans women, everybody's hot. That's great. You know what I mean? Like, fucking everybody looks great. Let's go for it, Fluffles Ras says, Joker always comes off as a sexual to me. Yeah, I agree. Especially America Ferrera, yeah. Anyways, so one thing I do when I watch movies is I double feature it in my head, which means I think about, like, okay, what would I watch? I say to myself, all right, wait, we're almost done with this stupid knot that I brought up or whatever. So saying, like, well, it'd be nice, FT Dude saying it'd be nice if they took a few seconds to explain, a change or whatever. And Jack Vincent says, yeah, the lack of explanation comes off very lazy. Okay. I think people that say that kind of stuff don't write themselves. But also, so there can be explanations, but also if you think about it, if you really think about it, there doesn't have to be. And honestly, if they're gonna remake something, I'd rather it be radically different, because who the fuck cares? Like, it's like the Psycho remake that someone said they like. It's like, why would you just remake something and make it literally exactly the same thing? So yeah. Scuba Steve, okay, that's a good. There's a good example. Scuba Steve says Evil Dead I think was a decent remake on sense of changing it up and being fun. Yes, so but okay, well, first of all, yes, I would say it was a fun remake because it is different from the first movie, but it is actually a sequel. You know, and it continues the story, and so I think that's more fun when they take those and do that and just keep it going instead. You know. And I think that was cool. But yeah, I liked the Evil Dead. I mean, yeah, it's basically a remake until the post-credit scene or whatever when you notice it's not. But, you know, then it's kind of their own thing. And I don't mind that at all. But, yeah, I think it's good. Anyways, I'm going to start ignoring people and just say that as far as all that goes, it's like, you know, I just think like, nothing should really be precious, you know, when it comes to that. It's just entertainment. It's just pop culture. And when something gets remade, it doesn't take away what was already done. And we should be doing what we can to give marginalized people a spotlight and to be open to the idea of changing a role to a different kind of person when really that doesn't affect the character whatsoever, you know? And I mean, you know what I would love to see? Like people were talking about James Bond. Get a lady James Bond. I want to see a lady James Bond that is as horny as the male James Bond was. I think that'd be so fucking awesome. So Jack Vincent says, "Knows my ability to write, whatever." But you're okay. You write. Your cookie's in the mail. I'm just saying some of the things we're saying are just like. The kind of things you see a lot of haters on the internet say. Then most of those people do not write. Also, I find it very suspicious that you've written a screenplay, a book, and a symphony. So anyways. I turned you into a troll. Yeah, I forgot that I hacked into your keyboard. Anyways, moving on from that person. So I like to double header movies. I like to think of what I would show along with it. Please don't, Jack Vincent. I'd like to think of what else you would watch with it. Kind of just like nuts. Cuckatron 3000, who are you saying good God about? James Bond, why is everyone talking about me? I was hoping, I didn't see the last couple James Bond movies. I was hoping Lashana Lynch would become the new James Bond. And they would just say she's 007 now. Boom, done. I would keep watching that. Yes, Cuckatron. I agree. Double D07. Love to Splooge and I are both on the social progress through horniness. Maybe we should run for president together, Love to Splooge. Because I think that's a way to do it. Is like, that's one reason I was always in support of like gay marriage and stuff. I'm like, yeah, let everybody fuck. Let's all get fucking. You know what I mean? Stop worrying about who's what, what's what. Let's just get our fuck on and stop worrying about what other people are doing. Your son's name in Warcraft is Get Their Fuck On? I know you guys are a little delayed, so whatever. Okay, Fluffles Wrath says, as long as you never went to Epstein's Island, I'll vote for you, Timmy. Guess what? Never have. Don't plan to now. Now there's too much heat on it. Oh, your son's name is Loves to Splooge. Okay, I want to get back on this point because I think it's fun, and I want to end this, whatever it is, train wreck. I feel like it's a train wreck. With you guys asking me about this. So I double or even triple feature things. And I don't actually do it, but I think about it. And Jack Vincent, no, I don't hate you now, but I think it's time for you to just kind of ease off a chat and just watch the show for a little bit. And don't try to inject your opinion too much. See, the idea here is that I inject my opinion, okay. But there's a whole different energy going on. And so when you guys tend to inject your opinion too much, when a certain person does, it comes off as what you're being called spammy right now. Because if you're looking at a chat window, it's your name all the time. That's why they're saying it's spammed, okay? And so, like, I'm sure you're great. Everything's cool. But I think it's time to just kind of watch this for a little bit and not worry about typing. I understand the temptation of just like, I can say anything, this guy will read it. I get that. But, you know, it's like, I think we're both getting too sidetracked by our own thoughts, and I have too many mental illnesses to really deal with this. So, okay, so for example, double headers. Let me look at my recent movie history and think of one that I was watching that I'm like, well, this X would be a good thing to watch along with it. Okay, Josie and the Pussycats, for example, which I just watched like a couple weeks ago for the first time. That would be, if you've seen the movie or not. If you've seen the movie, you'd probably agree with me. If you haven't seen the movie, maybe this will entice you to see it. But Josie and the Pussycats, you could pair with Spinal Tap. You could pair it with, I haven't seen Spice World, but it would probably pair well with Spice World. Yes, the Spice Girls movie. I would pair it with Demolition Man. I think it would go well with Demolition Man, you know, things like that. See, and I should have written it down because I had some really good ideas for that one. Okay, so what else did I watch recently that I was thinking about this? Well, I wrote a couple ideas down. Okay, so Barbie. Now, if you've seen the Barbie movie, and I don't talk about the Barbie movie this much every episode, but I just had some thoughts about it because I got that cool Blu-ray of it that I just showed, and I watched it again since I got that. Oh, that's another thing. A lot of Blu-ray collectors will just buy movies and not watch them. I try and watch everything I buy because why the fuck am I buying it if not to watch it? So if you've seen Barbie, you'll get this, but 2001: A Space Odyssey. You know, I think it would also pair well with something like Adaptation or possibly Being John Malkovich. You know, I watched when my daughter and I first saw Barbie. I then showed her 2001: A Space Odyssey, and it like she loved it. She loved all the space stuff with Hal and the kind of thriller, kind of quiet thriller thing of the fucking Hal going crazy and whatever. And then, you know, the last 30 minutes or whatever, whoops, she just, whoa, you know. Like, she didn't say anything. And at the end, I just looked over to her and she was just like, that was really confusing and I don't know what to think. She started crying and I was like, hey, this is your first time being truly challenged by art. Because you think about what you see as a kid and most of the time you don't see stuff that's super challenging. You know what I mean? And, you know, I know there's pretentious art dudes that would say like, well, 2001 really isn't that challenging. Okay, sure. But if you're fucking 12, it is. Because of the way that movie ends, crazy. It's crazy, you know? So anyways, then I showed her Holy Mountain and El Topo. But, not really. But, yeah. But so that was a good doubleheader. The Running Man, which I just watched last night. You could doubleheader that with some interesting ones. The Game, Running Man and The Game, like the Michael Douglas movie, the David Fincher movie, could go well together. I would also, obviously, Demolition Man would be a good one for that. And then there's lots of other movies about similar stuff in The Running Man, you know. So yeah, I'm trying to think, man. I had some thoughts about interesting double features, and I'm just fucking forgetting them, man. So I gotta write everything down. You know how many great stand-up jokes I've thought of that just died on the vine because I didn't write them down. My ADHD fucking deleted it from my brain. Sucks, but there's definitely something. Okay, The Black Room, which is what I mentioned when Vinegar Syndrome put out 2 secret titles. One was Existence, the other, or however you say that. The other one was The Black Room, and that's like a 70s, like, cheating on your wife vampire story. I honestly, that is a good description of it. So, I think that could go well with Eyes Wide Shut. I think it could go well with I suppose a lot of Hitchcock stuff. I suppose it could go well with like Vertigo or something with a little bit of the, weird obsession in it. Is that not just a vampire thing? No, The Three Fates, it's not just a vampire movie about vampires trying to fuck your wife. It's about a guy who fucks around on his wife, and she thinks he's going home and literally telling her about it, but she thinks he's making it up as this like bedroom role-playing thing to spice up their sex life. And then she finds out he's not making it up. And then they find out that the dude who runs this room that you can rent and go fuck people in has been watching them the whole time, and every once in a while taking the person they fucked and draining them of all their blood. So it's an interesting movie. Definitely very interesting. I would say, let's see here. What else did I watch recently? Okay, so Point Break, there's lots of good things you could do with that. I would say Inside Man. I would say, obviously, Fast and Furious. Fast and Furious, there's another good example of this remake conversation. Fast and Furious is kind of a remake of Point Break, but all they did is they took that core appeal of it, which was 2 likable lead actors, one with the law, one not, and they like each other enough that it makes them kind of question their side on things, Typo Negative? She's in love with herself. She likes the duck on her milk white neck. The devil's mark. Fucking Peter Steele, baby. I've only seen Fast and Furious. I haven't seen all 29 sequels, but see, that's what I don't care about sequels. I think it's fun to do sequels. It's fun to draw it out that long. Like if I watched all the Fast and Furious whatever, all of them, I'm sure I would enjoy, what's going on and following like the twisty continuity, Like I like that. Oh, you know what? I like that about the Saw movies. Like the Saw movies are pretty silly sometimes. Some are really good, some are silly. But the continuity, the way they paint themselves in a corner every time and then like just have a ridiculous explanation and get out of it. That's a lot of fun. That's just straight up a lot of fun. Flo's Wrath said, I saw Fast and Furious 10 without seeing any of the other ones. It was the most badass experience ever. You don't even need to know English to like the film. Yeah, there's probably not a lot of talking in it, right? Just a lot of cool fucking shit happening, right? Why not? Okay, so The Holy Mountain, which I mentioned before, weird ass art movie, but it is kind of about religion. Now, you could do The Boxer's Omen, which is a very weird ass art movie about religion too, but it's also a martial arts film. Those would go well together, but you better. I watched those a few days apart, and I was like, these were too close together. So I don't know about that. Man, God, I had these great ideas about different double features, and now I'm just forgetting fucking all of them. Memories of Murder, which is Bong Joon-ho's serial killer murder mystery kind of thing, based on real murders that he made. a long time before he made Snowpiercer or Parasite or any of that stuff. Could go well with 7. Or M, or Silence of the Lambs, or just any other serial killer movie. I'm trying to think of more creative pairings, though, because I think Barbie in 2001 is like a good double feature. You know what I mean? Yes, Jack Vincent. Planet of the Apes with the continuity, yeah, the original 5, that's fucking fantastic what they did. And I watched that with my daughter, and she could not believe the endings of the first couple movies, like, everybody knows the first one. If you don't know how the second original Planet of the Apes movie ends, yeah. And the third one, Fluffle's Wrath, is that what you've been talking about? Okay. Fluffle's Wrath says Oppenheimer and Godzilla -1. I bet that's a great pairing. And you could probably even pair Oppenheimer with any Godzilla movie, but you probably want to go with the ones that are more about the nuclear problem. So Godzilla -1, I haven't seen it, but I know they address it more. The original Godzilla, Gojira, would probably work really well with Oppenheimer too. What's crazy about the original Godzilla is that it's like not like a Godzilla movie. It's like kind of depressing. And there's still a giant monster stomping on stuff, so it's still fun, but it's like very serious. And then the sequels aren't like that. Another series like that would be the Rambo series. Starts with First Blood, not like the other Rambo movies at all. There's another series like that I mentioned not that long ago. I'm just kind of scrolling through my letterboxd to try and figure out what it is. But I'm not really sure. But anyways, okay. I want to do something for the last few minutes before I leave. So name a movie, and let's see if I can tell you a good double feature for it. Gummo. Okay. Good. Okay. Oh, you're everybody's starting with crazy movies. Okay. Gummo. I would pair Gummo with Napoleon Dynamite. Eraserhead. I would pair with Mr. Mom. TMNT. So do you mean the movie literally called TMNT, the CGI one? Okay. The Big Lebowski, I would pair with The Long Goodbye, starring Elliot Gould. Girl Walks Home Alone at Night, I would pair that with like a way different. I would pair that with like with a flashy vampire movie, like Lost Boys. I think Girl Walks Home Alone at Night and Lost Boys would be a good pairing. Kung Fu Hustle, pair it with whatever that fucking stupid thing everybody keeps saying is, Chop Suey, whatever it's called. Okay, A Serious Man, I would pair with... Okay, it's like a guy questioning his faith and his place in life. Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Blue Velvet, let's see. Okay, Paddington. Okay, Paddington, I would pair with John Woo's Hard Boiled. Because the Paddington movies are low-key, under the radar, action movie masterpieces. You know what I mean? Because there's not fighting, there's not killing in them, but there are very well constructed, choreographed fucking action set pieces, right? Jack Vincent, I said Indiana Jones because he questions his faith in those movies a lot, and that's kind of what Serious Man is about. Okay, so Dazed and Confused. What did I just watch? I just watched something recently that would go well with Dazed and Confused. Maybe it was Voyage of the Rock Aliens. What the hell was it? Yeah, I don't know. God, I cannot remember. Man, really bad memory today. Exceptionally bad today. Civil War on Drugs, I would pair with The Day the Clown Cried. Total Recall. Those gummies, man. Mrs. Lippman's, you think it's the gummies that do it to me? I'm not eating gummies tonight. I drank some whiskey and ginger ale, though. Miss March, I would pair with The Godfather. Poughkeepsie Tapes. I've never seen that. I suppose you could do Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer. Okay. Very Brady sequel, a Serbian film. Toy Story 3. Toy Story 3. I know I already said Being John Malkovich, but they're both about people trying to escape old age. So you do that. Oh, I haven't seen it, but Logan's Run and Toy Story 3 could be interesting. Or what's that Michael Bay one with Scarlett Johansson? The Island, right? Guy Incognito, thank you for remembering that. That was one of my favorite memories shortly before Trevor died of me and him and Sam goofing around and singing those stupid Randy Newman versions. For Trevor, they made a Toy Story 4. We made a Toy Story 4. Something we can do one more, but they made a Toy Story 4. Beyond the Black Rainbow. Serpent and the Rainbow. I just watched something voodoo-y. What did I just watch? Man, I'm just bad at this today. Okay. Serpent in the Rainbow, I would pair that with a Mexican spaghetti western, which is the oxymoron, not oxymoron, but it doesn't make sense. Spaghetti westerns are called spaghetti westerns because they were produced in Italy, shot in Italy and Spain. But in Mexico, they were making movies like that too, but obviously they're not spaghetti westerns. They're actually kind of just fucking westerns, because a lot of westerns, American or Italian or whatever, take place in Mexico. So if the Mexicans are making one, they're probably the most authentic. And Hot Snake is one of them, and it's got a lot of like voodoo, weird kind of supernatural shit in it. Oh, there you go. Thank you, Grabsack Turncuff. We thought we were done, but they said make one more. Now we got a Toy Story 4. In the Mouth of Madness. I already said that too, but adaptation, right? Adaptation and Mouth of Madness would go well together. I like trying to think of movies that are completely different, but would still work. And man, when I'm sitting there watching a movie, they flow. And of course, then when I put myself on the spot, nothing doing, Iron Monkey, which is like a martial arts movie with Batman. Any of the Batmans would be good, but those are similar, I guess. Colby liked the cheese. That insane asylum worker was awesome. I wonder if he's still around. That was interesting. Was that the same episode as the Randy Newman stuff? Is when we talked to that kid who worked at an insane asylum? That was just fucking wild, wasn't it? The people you meet, that's what I always talk about, how I hate the internet, whatever, but I do. But, there was a time when we were mainly using it for connection and to educate ourselves. And now we use it to fortify our own opinions and not to expand our horizons or meet new people, So we're just fortifying our positions. Like if you go on the internet and say, hey, I think black people shouldn't get to protest things, which a lot of people think. You say that, you get on the internet, well, you can find everybody who agrees with you and never change your mind ever, and never encounter a thought that would make you change your mind. That's kind of what the internet is now, which is too bad. Oh, right, Colby liked the cheese. Yeah, what a whole fucking thing that was, huh? But, okay, let's keep doing this doubleheader thing. I feel like I'm warming up. Lawnmower Man. Sling Blade. Willow. Okay, Willow and... You said Willow or Top Secret. Wow, I was going to say Willow and Top Secret just because of Val Kilmer. But, Hackers, Sneakers. Ready or Not. Dirgerb says, Ready or Not. Do you mean that, God, what's that the girl's name? The one about the lady that gets married and then her new husband's family is like fucked up. I suppose that could pair well with Get Out. Star Trek First Contact. Pocahontas. Samara Weaving, thank you. Major Pain. I would pair that with Platoon. Okay, so what about, let's see. Norm Macdonald's Dirty Work. Give me one. What do you guys think? What would pair well with Dirty Work? Any ideas? Willow and Austin Powers and Goldmember. Okay, I like that one. I like that idea. Dirty Work and the Animal. Phantom of the Paradise. Okay. You're saying Dirty Work and Phantom of the Paradise? Or are you asking me to pair something with Phantom of the Paradise? Phantom of the Paradise. Lorenzo's Oil and Dirty Work. Okay. Okay, Phantom of the Paradise, which I fucking love. I have that one. In the meantime, here's a good doubleheader. Wheels on Meals and Good Burger. I think that'd be fucking great. Maybe I should do that. Dirty Work and Amelie. That's a good one. That'd be a fun double feature for sure. Let's see here. Phantom of the Paradise. Oh, I'm stuck on that one. I feel like there's too many good options. It would actually be, I mean, even though it's maybe a boring idea for a double feature, it'd be cool to watch Phantom of the Paradise and then watch one of the classic adaptations of Phantom of the Opera. You know? Miss Lippins in the Tub says you should stream a movie sometime, Timmy. Yeah, I think I should, you know. I mean, is this enjoyable? I feel like, I don't know, this is just kind of maybe boring or something, especially when you get caught up arguing with people or whatever. But I just like talking about movies, and, you know, maybe I should have spent more time finding something to talk about. I don't know. Miss Lippin says, this because you live with Timmy 24/7. Don't I know it? Don't remind me. Jesus, fucking guy. That guy, fucking, whew. Okay, you guys want me to read off? I mean, so I had some extra money, and there's a lot of movie sales recently, so I bought a lot of stuff. And I could talk about some of the other ones I'm getting soon. Let's see here. Reanimator. Excited to finally have that. New Battles Without Honor and Humanity, which is the second series, trilogies. The Beastmaster I'm getting very soon. A Trailer Boys favorite, Unmasking the Idol. I have played Disco Elysium a little bit, Diarrhea Warning, and the one time I played it on stream and did the whole thing where chat could help me pick the dialogue options, like what to say. Yeah, Barbara Crampton. Her and Linnea Quigley. I got a crush on both of them. Barbara Crampton followed me back on Twitter. She seems really fucking cool. I know some people that like know her, and it sounds like she's just like a great lady. What else I get? Bad Day at Black Rock, which I've never seen before. It's like a classic movie. You know, it's got Spencer Tracy, whatever. Yeah, Barbara Crampton's in Suitable Flesh. So is Heather Graham. So, it's double your cute blondes. She seems like she's probably cool, too. Beastmaster and Dr. Dolittle, that's a fun idea. Oh, yeah, I got a lot of weird, because of Vinegar Syndrome, I got a lot of weird indie stuff. Like I showed you with Hollywood and The Dog Who Stopped the War. I got one called Shredder Orpheus, which is like a skateboarding punk musical from the 80s, I guess. Kind of interested to get into that. But as far as a recommendation, if you want to watch a kung fu movie that you haven't seen before, see if you can track down The Magic Crystal. It's bananas. The Linnea Quigley love, yeah. So she's great in, obviously, Return of the Living Dead. She's also great in Night of the Demons. I think those are the two people know her from the most. She's got a little bit in Silent Night, Deadly Night, the first one. What else had I watched that she was in? Oh, she was in that movie, The Black Room, that I just talked about. She's in a very short, very small bit. Things with Showers. Yeah. Like the Linnea Quigley exercise tape or whatever. Yeah, Guy Cadito just brought up the great workout video. Yeah, it starts with her naked in the shower. and then they do, you know, there are workouts. Probably. I mean, I got my workout and then done in the first part. But Windy City Heat. Yeah, she works out with zombies. Right. Okay, besides Wonka, I don't know if I've seen much newer movies. I'm really bad at seeing newer movies, especially around the end of the year and early, January-ish. I'm really bad at seeing the movies that are like everybody likes, that that become awards darlings and stuff. I don't really care about awards, but I know there's good movies that I'm not watching that I probably would enjoy. Yes, Scuba Steve. She is the one that gets impaled on the deer in Silent Night, Deadly Night. And she's also the naked zombie leader Trash in Return of the Living Dead. Not Silent Night, Deadly Night 2 is Garbage Day. And one of the reasons it's so notorious is because most of Silent Night, like the first half of Silent Night, Deadly Night 2, is the guy telling the story of Silent Night, Deadly Night 1. And then he gets out and he shoots people and says, Garbage Day! Yeah, she does love horror movies. She's made a ton of horror movies. Okay, well, I guess I'm going to be done. But this is fun, and I guess I can raid somebody. Let's find this. Let's find out who's going to get raided. Oh, we haven't raided Forest of Wires in a while. Did I do that last time, though? Have I seen Kill Her Goats? No. I think I've heard of it, though. Is that the literal Killer Goats movie? Laser Shorts 2. Okay. Oops, I typed Laser Shorts. All right, cool. We'll raid Laser Shorts 2. Oh, Nate's there. All right. Okay, we're going to raid Laser Shorts 2. Nate is there. Nobody. Yes, Scatazuki, we're still releasing a movie. It's being submitted to festivals. Then once that process is going, we'll have more of an idea of what's going to happen with it. Anyways, we're going to raid. Now, when you see Nate, make sure you don't acknowledge him. Okay? Don't say hi. Don't say anything. Don't say Timmy says hi. Just pretend you don't notice him, okay? All right. Anyways, you guys have a good night. And we got a few seconds here. And then there we go. Hope this can remain a running thing. Well, I've done it twice in a month, or a little over a month, so maybe I'll do it more often. We'll see. I want to come up with more, like, stuff to do in it, so we'll see. Anyways, have a good night, everybody. I love you. Thank you so much for hanging out. Thank you so much for subscribing, whatever else. I know I get cantankerous and on people's cases, but the fact is I love all of you very much, and I'm always blown away by the support, so thanks so much, everybody. All right, now go harass Nate.